Live? Like really live?
Really, really live.
Really live?
Absolutely.
Live with Kerry Thuett today, Dr. Kerry Thuett. I'm Cory Myers with Lubbock Consulting.
And I'm Robb with the Robb Technology Group.
And we're live here today with Dr. Kerry Thuett of Fully Fueled Fitness. She's a genius in more ways than one. She works with diet, exercise, and mindset to kind of give you a fully fueled and fully rounded and holistic view on health. She's got a PhD, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her business and why she does what she does today. And so, welcome, Kerry.
Hey, thank you. I'm still trying to figure out how to start a watch party. It didn't work the way I thought it would. So that's all right, All right, so.
There you go. You got it.
All right. So what's the question you have for me?
Well, how did you start your business and why are you in this business? And kind of give us a little brief history about that.
Okay. So I used to be extraordinarily fat. So I weighed 300 pounds, and I weighed 300 pounds for a good portion of my life. And even so, I was still active, and I thought I was eating decent food a lot of the times. And then, of course, I knew that I was also a big, giant binge eater, which is, how you get to weigh 300 pounds. But at some point, I was tired of my joints hurting. I was tired of not being able to wear the clothes I wanted to wear. And I was tired of not being able to keep up with a lot of my friends and colleagues. And so I did all of the things that I was supposed to do. I went on the most prestigious diets. I had a personal trainer. I did Pilates and yoga and kickboxing and all of the exercises. And I found that I actually still only lost weight very, very slowly. And I also found that it was difficult to stick to a diet. So then when I went and finished my PhD and started working as a private toxicologist in San Francisco, I was doing expert witness work. And as an expert witness, you have to, so these companies, big companies in the US would come to me and say, hey, we have this litigation problem. This chemical supposedly poisoned to this person. We need to find out if it really did. And if so, what's your opinion on that? And we need to go to court. So they would just give me these random chemicals. And as a toxicologist, you have to understand all toxicology, all chemicals, all pharmacology. And I would look at all of this literature and come up with my opinion and state my opinion in a court of law. But there was also an expert on the other side, and he would have looked at the same literature and have come up with another opinion. And a lot of people think that these toxicologists or experts or whatever are in the pockets of whoever is paying them, and that is not the case. You look at the literature from whatever lenses that you filter all of your opinion through. And so we would come up with very different opinions. And so what I started to think about is it possible that what we think we know, what is common knowledge and conventional wisdom about fat loss and about exercise, what if it's wrong? Because it's supposedly based in the literature. Is that true? And how was it interpreted? And I discovered that for the nutrition literature, most of the diets were based on research that had done 50 years previously, and it was either done very poorly or it was done with not great techniques. And then with the fitness literature, I found out that most of what we think we know about exercise and how gyms are set up and the recommendations that people are given were done. It was research that was done in a population of men aged 18 to 25 who were all athletes. And then the data was extrapolated to be perfect for grandma that's 70, or a soccer mom that is 35. And you can't do that. And so then, of course, then money making came into it, and people tried to monetize nutrition, fat loss, and fitness. and it became a disaster. And so instead, I tried to forget what I already knew or what I thought I knew and actually look at the research. I'm a biochemist. I am a chemist. I'm a toxicologist. I'm a neuroscientist and a biologist and a physiologist. I can figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
So I just looked straight up into the literature and then played a guinea pig myself. And I would try things, look into the literature. Okay, this seems to be working. Why is it working? This does not seem to be working. Why is it not working? Can I find that on a biological level? And ended up coming up, and not on my own, as a professional, you always reach out to other professionals that have good ideas, and you come together and come to a consensus. And that's what I did. And I came up with the diet that ended up letting me drop that 165 pounds and, be muscled at the same time. There's a lot of people that'll drop weight and you look at them and they look terrible, right? Yeah. They're because they're skinny fat. They are small, but they still don't have any shape to them.
Well, and they lost even whatever muscle mass that they did have. They lost it because they were dieting and taking away those nutrients as well, right?
Exactly. Yes. So then I decided, as I was looking at all this medical records from all of these clients that I had as a toxicologist, and they were suing because of this disease or that disease or this problem, and they're blaming it on some chemical that they were exposed to in their office or their job. And I was looking at their medical records and thinking, you are sick because you are sick. You are fundamentally sick. And I decided it was time for me to quit that job and take my knowledge that I had and help people become fundamentally healthy instead of fundamentally sick. So that's how I started it.
Well, fantastic. And I think it kind of informs not only, myself and Philip, but, doing these podcasts and kind of say, hey, look, there's a whole path to being a business owner. And when you talk about your why and what you're doing and why you're doing it, and that kind of informs the how as well, right? So you've kind of put in a lot of research and a lot of, you yourself just said you were the guinea pig for a while. A lot of research, a lot of peer review, a lot of talking to other people, and a lot of results, right?
Yeah. My results were phenomenal. And I think back on it and I almost can't believe it happened. And it didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of hard work. And then when I get people to come to me and listen to what I have to say and they really learn it and they take it to heart, we get the same results with them. We get massive, massive changes in health. And let me tell you something that always, always happens is they get healthier before they start losing body fat. Mm-hmm. And that's very, very critical because the establishment will tell you if you will lose weight, your blood pressure will go down. If you will lose weight, you will get rid of diabetes. If you will lose weight, your heart disease will go away. And it's actually not true. Okay, it's not the weight loss that causes those things to go away. It is the getting healthier because you've got skinny people that are not technically overweight with those same diseases. If losing weight were the answer to those diseases, then all you have to do is be thin. And we know that's not true. Yeah. What happens is you get fat partially because you're unhealthy. And then the body is in a stress response, which causes it then to store fat because fat storage is a defense mechanism. So when I can get the most toxic foods out of somebody's diet, most toxic behaviors out of their lifestyle, I can start to manipulate their health. And then as they become healthy, their body falls in line and then drops weight and the disease states go away. So hold on, I need to throw something in here real quick.
Okay.
This is an appropriate disclaimer. So the content discussed in this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing in this podcast should be considered medical advice, and please consult your licensed and credentialed functional medicine practitioner before embarking on any health, dietary, or fitness changes.
Yeah,
So
thank you for that, Kerry, because we definitely don't want to get in trouble for anything.
yeah,
But I think, as well as, yes, you do need, you have a PhD, but you're not a medical doctor. So
correct.
that's an important
Yes.
distinction. However, these things are very well founded. They're not there to, we're not misleading people. So
Exactly. And let me clarify, I don't have a PhD in English. I
yeah,
have a math degree, a biology degree, an environmental toxicology degree, and a toxicology degree that is based on neuroscience and human development.
yes,
So that all together, and being a toxicologist, if you think about it from a medical doctor standpoint, medical doctors study pharmacology and they study it for one semester. And basically, toxicology is just pharmacology for an entire degree. So, the effect that any chemical substance, including pathogens like viruses, bacteria, and so forth, has on the body, and that also includes food because food is a chemical. A toxicologist is well trained to understand and opine on.
correct. Yeah, I think what your position is a lot of times is something that I think a lot of people can relate to. They've had diets and exercise that just isn't working, and so it to me it seems like kind of a no brainer to go listen to somebody like you and say these are the reasons. And believe me when I say this to the audience is when I talked to Dr. Thuett, she is actually uh, she's giving me the reasons that she's saying things about the health and about this is what this does to your body. This is why you want these types of foods. These have got these types of chemicals in them. These don't, and all kinds of things around that, so it just makes sense. Tell me a little bit about your business and how your clients interact with you. I know you've kind of got three avenues of approach that you use together: the food and the nutrition, the strength training, and then also just kind of mindfulness and lifestyle. Kind of tell us about those and how your clients interact with you.
Yeah. Ideally, I get the best results and I prefer to coach somebody on all of those aspects. The industry has taken them and put them in silos and, like, hey, this is your nutrition plan, but it doesn't take into consideration how are you moving. Other The fitness industry will tell you if you just exercise and do this, then you're going to get healthy, and they don't really take nutrition into play. But then you've got some personal trainers out there that are giving out diet plans when they don't have degrees in nutrition or any kind of deep science. But then you've got your behavior scientists, which are brilliant people, and they're looking at why we behave the way we do, and why we act the way we do. But then they don't understand that actually sometimes something that you eat actually can trigger a behavior. And if you just pull out that triggering food, the behavior goes away. So most of these are in silos and I put them together. Okay, so that's the first thing. People have best results when they will do all of them. I bring people in and I do an hour and a half consultation after they have filled out like 600, a questionnaire with 600 different questions on it. And I take that data and analyze it and graph it out so that we understand, what parts of their body are not working well, what parts are. We talk about their goals, their whys, what they do, why they do what they do, their strengths, their weaknesses. I talk about or ask them about what they've done physically in the past. And I do a body composition scan on them because I want to know how much muscle they have and how much fat they have. A lot of people think that they are fatter than they really are because they see a big person and they see a big number on the scale. And really, I look at that and I go, 130 pounds of that is muscle. This is awesome. We can work with this, So anyway, we do all of that together. And in that hour and a half, I will figure out about two or three things that person can leave with immediately that they can change, that will make them better fundamentally if they never see me again. Okay, so I want somebody to get something out of that first hour and a half with me. Also, after that first hour and a half, I can then figure out the best plan of action for them. And it is not the same for everybody. This is completely customized to you, because ultimately, if somebody's going to make changes that last their entire lifetime, which is the goal here, they can't do Jane Doe's plan. They can't do Orange Theory's plan. They can't do Weight Watchers' plan. They can't do somebody else's plan. They have to do their plan. So we come up with that for them. And ideally, it includes learning the foods that are most toxic to you that you need to leave out, the foods that you are currently not eating that you need to add to optimize your health, figuring out how you need to move or how you don't need to move. A lot of people, I have to stop some of the exercise that they're doing and add something different in. Every time you move, it moves your cells, it moves your DNA. As a neuroscientist, I understand that the brain is controlling everything about how you move and then the feedback on that and whether you build muscle or not. So we put that together, and then usually for the first 12 weeks, that is what we focus on. At the end of 12 weeks, people usually have some light bulb moments and they start to get the hang of some of these other things, some of these things that we've talked about. But then they start realizing, I don't get how to implement this forever. So then we really start hammering the lifestyle. How do you fit this into your life? How do you meal prep? I like to keep people for at least a year and go through every holiday. How do I deal with every holiday? How do I deal with every birthday? How do I deal with every incident that comes up at work? How do I deal with coronavirus when it comes up and everything changes? So that's what we deal with usually after the first 12 weeks is all the behavior stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that absolutely does.
So, you've obviously got a pretty impressive process that you put your clients through. What are the benefits? So other than talking about because everything you've told me sounds terrible. Like I have to diet, I have to go to the gym all the time. Like, geez, this doesn't sound fun. What's the fun part? Like what does the client have to look forward to?
Okay, so the first thing I do is I give them guidelines. Let's talk about the diet first. I give them guidelines on what I want them to eat. I don't tell them what to eat. Then I send them on their way. And I let them, for the first month, figure out what they're already eating and how it fits into the guidelines. So people think I'm going to completely overturn everything that they're doing, and it's not true. And they're surprised about that. They're like, oh, really? I can eat that? Uh-huh. And I say, yes, you can. But let's put some principles around it so you know how much, when, and why, right? Or no, you can't, but let's get you an alternative. So the diet is not a complete overhaul of everything that you're doing. And that is something that people find surprising. The fitness piece. Okay, this is about, I don't use the word exercise. Exercise is a human construct to make money. Okay, humans don't exercise, humans move. Therefore, I need to teach humans to move. And there are actually only 7 basic ways that humans move. And I take them, the first time I work with them on fitness, I teach them how to do mobility daily. And it takes 7 minutes a day. Sometimes that's the people's workout, and I don't give them any more. On other times, I'll take them to a second session and I'll teach them the 7 basic human movements. And I say, every single workout that you should do the rest of your life should be based on these 7 things. And they always go, that's not that hard. And I didn't even sweat. And I'm like, yes, I know. This whole thing about I've got to go to the gym and I have to sweat and I have to be there an hour and I have to come out, all noodly. That's a lie. It's a lie of the industry. And so then people realize, oh, I can stay fit. I tell you, my clients are not having a hard time right now with not being able to be in the gym right now, because all I did is I said, okay, well, first of all, you've already got these two bands because I give them to you from the very beginning. I want you to check out one kettlebell. And so they checked out a kettlebell from me, and they're working their plans at home at their convenience.
That's
So
awesome.
the exercise, that's the other thing to look forward to is I'm not going to be busting your butt. You're not going to be sweating all the time. And you're going to be doing work out that makes you feel powerful, not depleted. So, um, I
Well,
don't
I
know.
guess that's a good transition into how are you adjusting your business. Philip and I have often talked to people and to each other about businesses need to do the same things just in a different way. And so I guess again, that's a good transition to kind of talk about what are you doing during the COVID-19 thing that you're just doing in a different way now, right?
Right. So because my goal is to not have a client forever. I want to make little mini me's. I want to make people self sufficient because if they're not self sufficient, they won't make the changes for the lifetime. So, at any moment's notice, if I have done my job and I'm paying attention to whether my client has learned what I need to teach them, I can say, we're done. Or somebody else can say, you're done for a while, and they can pick up and they know exactly what to do. So what I've done is I then have an online, let's say for the fitness piece, I have an online fitness coaching program so that then I have my client in there and I write what I want them to do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, etc. Um, and I know what equipment they have or don't have. Some of them don't have any equipment at all, and I have them take a picture of their house, show me what's in their house, and then I can easily write a program for them. But I'm not writing anything that I know they don't already know because they know. And so all I have to do is instead of me writing on my piece of paper and being in the gym and say, this is what you're going to do, I put it on the online coaching app. They click on there, they go, oh, yeah, I got to do that, done. They go do it. It's no big deal. And then they just check in and say that they did it. And if they had any questions, they just message me a question there right through the app. It's brilliant. I love it. I can also upload videos that they can see if they need explanations of how to do something. And then they can upload videos back to me of them doing something. Hey, can you check my form on this? Am I doing this right? So that's brilliant. I've been able to change that over. I'm doing the same coaching I was doing. I'm just doing it in a different platform. Now, something that I did previously was set up an online classroom for my nutrition. So, what I was doing, I had figured this out even well before this virus thing, because every time a client would come in, I was printing out this material and having to remember, oh, what have I told this client? What do I do in this session? What do I do in that session? Have I told them this? Have I taught them that? Well, I just put it in an online classroom. And so then when somebody starts with me new, even when they're working with me one on one, I set them up on this online coaching or online nutrition class. And every day they get a lesson. So one day they get a lesson, one day they get recipes, one day they get food tips, one day they get an inspirational quote, one day, and they have homework. So they're going through this already. So then when they come and see me in person, I just open that up and I go, okay, I see that you read this. Let's talk about it. The marshmallow test about the kids that got delayed gratification. That's on one of the classrooms. I say, well, let's talk about that. What did that mean to you? Right. Well, now I can't see my people in person, but it's no big deal. They're still going through the classroom that I had already put them on. And now I just have a phone call with them and go, hey, I saw you read about the marshmallow test today. What do you think about that? So it's been brilliant. There are people that love one-on-one contact, and I'm one of those people. And we're hurting a little bit. We really do want to see somebody in person, but I've been able to transition this over to phone calls very nicely. At first, we were doing exercise in the park. Now, I don't know. I don't know why I can't stand 6 feet from another person. And with them, with their own kettlebell, doing overhead presses, and I watch them and I give them encouragement. Don't know why that's wrong and how that's going to spread the virus, but it wasn't me who made that decision. Anyway, I have not had to change a whole lot. Um, it's just more being flexible and working with people's schedules and understanding people's fears, because not everybody has wanted to continue. They are in such a fear state that they can hardly grasp even waking up in the morning. So anyway, that's weird.
So one of our viewers, Dylan Moore, has got a question for you. His question is, have you been focused at all since COVID-19 on any more or less on new client acquisition now that COVID-19 is hit?
Not any more than ever. Because I run a business where I try to graduate my people out, I am always having to look for new clients, because I expect that I won't have everyone forever. That's opposed to other kinds of gyms and nutrition businesses that their business is to keep you coming back. So I already have things in place to help me continue to get new clients. I have not changed that specifically, although I have begun to post, different things. Like I offer home workouts. If you'd like to, get scheduled for that, let me know. So, but nothing drastically different.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's a great question because, we do talk about that. You still need client acquisition, but how are you doing it? You still need, customer engagement. How are you doing it now versus then? And you still need to do the marketing and the sales and all the things that surround that. So what you're saying is you're always kind of in that engagement with new clientele, potential new clients, because you're not, you anticipate graduating your current clients out of your course.
Yeah. So I always have to be looking for new people. It's just the message that I'm offering right now is slightly different. Because instead of saying, come into Fully Fueled Fitness and we'll do nutrition and I will teach you strength training like the deadlift and so forth, which is one of the, basics of what I do. Instead, I say, hey, we can do your nutrition online and I can show you some home workouts that you can do without a lot of extensive training ahead of time. So the message is slightly different, but the amount of marketing is not different.
Okay. Well, I guess what would be the most difficult transition or shift that you have made with the virus and what's going on? From the outside, it looks like just shifting into people's homes and trying to keep them motivated. That would be something I would maybe struggle with. But why don't you tell me what you have struggled with and how have you pivoted out of that?
One of the key things that I do is try to deeply understand someone and their behavior. Because if I can deeply understand them and their behavior, then I can give them tools in their toolbox to make better choices. And that really requires physical presence. I need to see somebody's body language. I need to see their eyes. I need to see how they react to my questions. And the way we communicate one-on-one in person is different even than on a Zoom, and for sure different than on the phone.
Yeah.
I get frustrated because I can't deeply feel somebody unless I'm in their physical presence. And that's been the most difficult part for me, because I am having to use different kinds of neurons in different parts of my brain. Let's say when I'm talking on the phone and there's no Zoom, there's not even a picture. I am having to think, listen to their voice, listen to every tiny inflection so that I can try to get into where they are and what they're feeling. And I am actually quite exhausted at the end of my days because I'm having to use a different set of tools to assess where somebody is.
Yeah.
So I would say for me, I feel more mentally drained at the end of the days now, whereas previously I would kind of be more physically drained.
Yeah. Well, Dylan's got a couple more questions. I'm just going to read those out. So Dylan says, any advertising methods / places you have advertised that has or hasn't worked? Anything that you could point anybody in a good direction?
Okay, so I guess that requires me to give some pros and cons. Um, I advertised in the Lubbock AJ for a year, and as well as with their online ads, and got zero, nothing. Um,
And for those who are watching from outside of Lubbock, Texas, the Lubbock AJ is the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. It is the newspaper here in town, and it's a local newspaper. They also do some online stuff, so they've got lots of different things they're working on.
Yeah.
Geez, I feel bad. I live here and I didn't know that.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. That is
Midland, though, so.
That though is exactly the point, is you live here and you didn't even know that. I think the problem with that is not that they're not a great advertising tool. They aren't a great advertising tool for me and the people that need to come to me. So don't take that you should not use them. Instead, think very clearly about whether it's the right market for you. Now, I started in December, I got a TV ad. Now that one though has given me some return on investment.
Okay.
One, they did a brilliant video, which I just love, and it's only 15 seconds, and it's bringing in some clients. Definitely though a very specific market. It's basically men and women from 55 to 65, or who that's bringing in, but it's working, right? I tried Facebook ads. I can't make them work. Okay, I have tried. I've done boosts, I've done ads, and I have gotten zero from Facebook. And I know that is somewhat of an anomaly because Facebook ads do work. I haven't figured out the right equation there.
I think I'm in the same boat as you on that. When I had the toy company, I mean, it was a $7 purchase, and we had Facebook ads all over the United States, and we sold. But Facebook ads for something that you need to build a little bit of trust in, you need to have that kind of expertise. I don't respond well to a lot of the Facebook ads that I get bombarded with, and they say that those work, and to have that funnel and things like that. I think it is difficult through Facebook to build the trust that we need for such a specialized thing like we do, right?
Exactly.
That may be a really good point. So I had tremendous success with Facebook ads. In the past, I owned a retail store where I fixed laptops, tablets, cell phones, computers, etc. And I had tremendous success. In fact, I believe about a year in, I stopped running Google ads because I had amassed such a following just simply by messing with Facebook all day, every day. And I found with my current business doing technology and consulting for small businesses, there's nothing there. I haven't had a single bit of results.
So,
I think Cory, what he said when he said, "Hey, well, there's a certain trust involved in what we do versus, hey, I'm going to fix your cell phone." Although I think that does require some type of trust, but it's a different.
Yeah, but people just throw their cell phone at the person at the mall, right?
Yeah. That's true.
There's those little purchases, maybe $100. All I know is I don't have time to learn how to fix this cell phone or this laptop, and I don't have the tools. I just want to throw it at someone and get it back in an hour and pay you the $130, $160 to fix the glass on my phone. Versus, hey, let's spend thousands of dollars with a business consultant for my business. Even though the ROI on that, it may be a teenager that just needs their phone fixed. There's no ROI in that. They just want their phone fixed. Versus, the ROI of hiring an IT consultant to make sure that you don't get any viruses and your data is secure. If you have a fire in your building, we've talked about this before, your ROI on the, couple hundred, maybe even $1,000 a month that you spend with an IT consultant, depending on the size of your company, if your data is backed up properly and you have a fire in your building, you're up and running the next day. The ROI is amazing.
Yeah.
Versus you don't, and your building burns down, and now you've got to start your business over.
Yeah.
On the Facebook, for my particular business. So I'm going to make a blanket statement. I know it's not 100% true. I'm clarifying that from the beginning. But a lot of your Facebook buyers they want a quick fix. Like you said, you can throw the cell phone at the guy at the mall. Facebook buyers are like, oh my gosh, that's a cute pair of shoes, I got to buy it. Or, oh, look, here's a new diet and it only costs $9.99. I'm going to grab that and see if it's my answer. And a lot of Facebook buyers they're consumers. They're consumers. They're not researchers. They're not people looking to make a life change. Yeah. And they are not looking for an expert, not really. And so I think that my clientele while they may be on Facebook, they are not Facebook buyers. They are people that are going to be doing research elsewhere. The thing is, though, is where do I find them? That's hard, because where do I find them? Let me tell you, though, the best place that I have found that I can get clients is if I will hustle and get booked for in-person talks. So I've given talks at a couple of businesses here in town because they have to bring in experts in nutrition and fitness and so forth to get like government funding and insurance kickbacks and things like that. And so I've come in and done that. I've spoken at some churches that have had dinners and hosted me as the speaker. And I've also given talks at Natural Grocer. When I can go in and give a talk, I get clients. Yep. People like what I have to say. When I can get intimate with somebody, I can tell them what they need to hear, and I can hear what they need, and I can respond appropriately. So when I can do not just face-to-face for an hour, but when I can get in a group of people and get some synergy going, I will always get clients from that. The thing is that's a hustle in and of itself, because how do I book those to begin with? How do I get the HR people at all these companies to bring me in and let me talk? So that is where some networking for me would be extremely valuable, because we have all these business owners in Lubbock that may or may not know me, but if they do know me, set me up with their company to come in and talk. That would be great. Yeah. So, and I can help a lot of people at one time that way also.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've actually had kind of the same reaction. The very first time, so I've been doing a whole bunch of business networking stuff, master networks and all this kind of stuff. One of the ones, it's my favorite one, the Texas Tech Club. We have this coffee connections thing. I absolutely love it because
which was supposed to happen today, wasn't it? It's today.
I might have totally missed it. If it was, I feel bad.
But anyways, I don't know. Were we doing a Zoom thing? I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. But anyways, Kerry Mayfield of Tierra Spanis Roasters. I'm sorry,
next Tuesday.
Totally butchered that. Anyways, he was presenting, and I came up with the idea. I said, "Hey man, what about getting a webcam?" And so that I can get in, because you're going to be pouring little coffee into shots, and you're going to be like, look at the froth, and everyone's going to be standing at the back going, how? And so I just sat there and held this webcam and let it display on the projector. And that was the very first time someone walked up to me and was like, hey, I've got a job for you. And I was just like, whoa, wait, what? I didn't even say anything. That was way cool.
Free demo.
Yeah, it was but yeah, that demo, that it was like, oh wow, this guy actually does know maybe what he's talking about a little bit. All right, let's give him a shot. That in your face presentation, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, oh wow, cool, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Let's go.
It's trust building. It's trust building. Again, and I want to kind of go back on one of the CEOs that we all kind of know and follow on Facebook. They say be a producer for social media, not a consumer for social media. And I feel like most of the business owners that I know, they're not spending time on Facebook to consume. They're spending time on Facebook to produce. Similar to this podcast, I'm not scrolling through Facebook and looking at your cat videos. Although I do occasionally.
I am.
Yeah. So, although we do occasionally, we're not going to see those ads that you're putting out for us, because that's not what we're doing. We're out, we're working on our presentations. We're working in and on our businesses. We're not scrolling through Facebook. And so the people that are on Facebook aren't necessarily our clients. The people that are on Facebook may, and Dylan Moore is still in the room, pecans and pecan pies and pecan sweets and all kinds of consumer goods. Those are delicious. You can put those out there, and maybe it costs $7. Maybe it's a $20 package or a $30 package. But those are great things to be putting on Facebook versus our things. Now, you have to have a Facebook presence. You have to have an Instagram presence. But those advertisements may not be for those very complex solutions like Kerry and Philip and I offer. So, those are.
I mean, if you think about it,
you kind of got to think about.
Like, think about Dell computers. Like, you'll see an ad for Dell computers for like a consumer grade $600 to $700 laptop, right? You don't see them pitching their business services on Facebook, do you?
No.
I kind of feel like that's probably the same kind of deal. Like, if I started selling laptops and I had a great deal on laptops and it was a hot time, before the school year or whatever, like, I could probably make some cash there. But I do think like your type of audience, or at least the mindset of your audience at that time, is definitely different.
So
let's back up to another one of Dylan's questions real quick.
Sorry, did I miss one?
We talked about focusing on new client acquisition and advertising, and then he had one more. Do the preconceived notions of what a gym is or should be help or hurt you when speaking to potential new clients?
Kills me. It kills me. Oh my gosh. Because people do think they have to be in a gym, and they do not. And this is one of the reasons when I am doing face-to-face with my Master Networks group, I actually like to do it there at my office, because I like to take them into my gym area. Because getting to my gym area, I have to pass through a classic gym to get there.
Yeah.
And so I walk them through and go, this is what you see and this is what you think of as a gym. None of this stuff is going to help you get healthy. None of it is going to make you strong. Most of it is going to hurt you in the long run. And that includes the cardio room as well as all of the equipment. And then I take them to my area that I built personally and say, this is what you need, right? Okay, so it always hurts me. It hurts me when people think that I own a gym or run a gym and take memberships. No, none of that. And they think it's perfectly fine to be on pre-made, preset equipment. No, not fine. And so I have to reteach. That is not a problem once somebody is my client, because they are open to learning. It is somewhat of a problem when someone just is trying to decide if they want to reach out to me or not.
Yeah.
And so I'll lose some clients in that first hour and a half, but that's just because I tell them the truth. And I am unabashedly unafraid to tell the truth. Yeah. Because the common knowledge and conventional wisdom is what has put people in a complete state of dishealth, which actually I want to go back to the Facebook thing and then kind of talk about health and then COVID. It kind of all fits together. One of the things that you as a marketer or as a business may hear with regards to marketing is get in Facebook groups. And then as the group chat goes on, you can insert comments about, your opinion or your thoughts or your business expertise or your, whatever within the group. And there may be somebody then in the group that's interested and they go, oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to reach out to her and find out more. So instead of doing direct Facebook marketing you're in little groups and you can just like throw out little one-liners occasionally to try to get people interested in what you do. Okay, so first, I'm going to tell you how that can backfire. And then second, I want to go on a tiny rant. So,
Make it tiny. We're at 12:48.
okay, all right. So this is the deal. I am in a Facebook group, and there were some comments about some foods that people are eating right now during this isolation that they are in. And I made the comment that that was not ideally appropriate for their health and for being mentally focused, having energy, and boosting immune health, or supporting immune health during this time. And I got a couple of comments, and I didn't really respond very much, but I made those comments. And it ended up that the administrator of the site said, or she responded to me personally, which I do appreciate that she did it in a private message and not on Facebook. She said, "We don't want to hear nutritional advice. We're just here to have fun." And so, anyway, I said no more, and I'm not participating in that group anymore. But I did want to throw this out with regards to nutrition and the isolation that we're in and the virus that we are exposed to. The people that are at risk of getting this virus and of it having adverse consequences are people that are unhealthy, straight up. And it really has less to do with age than it actually has to do with health status. And the things that I have been teaching people for 10 years are the things that would ideally would have kept you completely healthy during this exposure. And so it frustrates me that people are not open to hear the truth about their food and the truth about their movement and how it really does affect their overall health, and then how that actually affects their propensity to even get a disease and then their ability to recover from it. And this is extremely vital for business owners. Business owners, more than anybody, they have to be clear thinking. They have to be high energy. They have to feel good, think well, be focused all the time, and go, go, go. And if their nutrition and their fitness is not dialed in, they will not be the best CEOs and entrepreneurs and business owners that they can be. And so, that's something that business owners need to think about right now is, besides keeping my business afloat, have I learned anything about myself that makes me not optimally functioning? So then my business is the best it can be. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important to kind of put that into perspective as well for the business owner. It's a risk assessment, right? Just like anything else. Is the market going to do this? Is what are my clientele on marketing? What's going to happen with my IT if something happens? Let's assess the risk. Let's mitigate that risk with proper action, right? So when you think strategically about all of the pieces, if you are a business owner, you're vital. You are the essential worker in your company. If you're not there, then hopefully you've got some capacity to step away and be sick. But if you don't, which most people don't, especially in the small business sector, you don't have the capacity to step away from your business for a day or two in a lot of cases. So why not, what is the severity of that risk and how do you mitigate it? You mitigate it by becoming healthier and eating healthier and exercising and things like that. So
I call it anti-fragile. We want our businesses to be anti-fragile, and we want our bodies to be anti-fragile. And there is absolutely a way to do that business-wise and a way to do it physically. And that is what I help people do, is become anti-fragile physically.
Yeah. If you are a limiting factor to your business, one, I can help you on the business side with that by putting people around you and building out structures. But Dr. Thuett can help you with you being more resilient and anti-fragile. And then, Philip Robb over here with Robb Technology Group can help your IT side to be more robust and actually not be a limiting factor either, because you do need those backups. You do need those virus protections, things like that. I mean, again, just
literal virus protections, virus protections.
Dual virus protections. I'm sorry, guys. I'm the only one here not protecting anybody from viruses, I guess. So, but
wait, but you're staying home, right?
I am staying home.
So you
yes,
are protecting someone from viruses, yes.
Yeah. Me and the turkey here. I've got the turkey. Me and the turkey are just chilling at home, and this guy's not giving me any viruses.
I just have coffee.
What? Oh, yeah, I got coffee as well.
Coffee.
I got Tierra's Plantis Roasters coffee. Shameless plug. Not getting paid for this ad. Well, I get.
Wait a second. He can send us free coffee. He can send us free coffee if he wants.
Yeah, send us. Hey, we need some pecans, or we're gonna start eating pistachios, and we need some free coffee. That's all I'm saying.
Oh boy.
Well, Dylan's watching. I know Dylan's watching. So, inside joke for you guys: watch the other episodes. If you don't know what we're talking about, watch the other episodes about the pistachios and pecans. Well, it's 12:54. Tell us just real quickly, what things are you watching as a business owner? Oh, he's giving us the angry face. What things are you watching or consuming as a business owner to better your business and better yourself right now?
So one of my favorite podcasts is called Business for Unicorns. It's hosted by Michael Keeler. I love that. It is a very easy way to learn more about how to do business well. And I also love, of course, Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Outliers. And for health purposes, when I need to educate myself further and just need some ear candy, I listen to the Healthy Rebellion Radio by Robb and I go to Chris Kresser's blog. So, basically that is how I spend my time learning more.
Absolutely. And I think we've got the a link to Outliers on Amazon for everyone in the description for our streams. So go to Amazon, get Outliers. It's a really good book. I've read it. I'm just now moving, so it's in a box somewhere. I would hold it up. And I did that.
You're just saying that so people think you're cool. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to claim to have all these books. It just happens to be in a box somewhere for the rest of the time.
I lost it in a boating accident, I swear.
Tell us where we can find you, Kerry. Where can we find you?
I am at fullyfueledfitness.com. That's not www. That's just fullyfueledfitness.com. If you'll go on there, I have a little blog that I've started. I have stories about myself, and I will try to be putting a lot more of that on. Also have several podcasts that I have recorded, about 5 hours of podcasts that talk about my entire journey. So you can find those as well.
Yeah, she sent us a whole bunch of links, and we'll try to post them in the comments here. She was on, now is that pronounced Her Body or HER Body or what,
They're calling it Her Body. The podcast is body.io. That is the overarching podcast, and I'm on the Her version.
I'm gonna try to throw those up in the comments section here. Lots of links, big comment for everybody. And that way everybody's kind of got that in the comments on these videos, on both Robb Technology Group Facebook as well as the Lubbock Consulting Facebook group. And we'll throw it up on the Philip and Cory show once we start getting these uploaded and things like that. Next week, we've got another great show on Tuesday. And guess what? We've got another Dr. Kerry, Dr. Kerry Mayfield, which we love both of our Dr. Kerrys. And so we just put them in a row, I guess. We actually even talked about putting y'all both at the same time, but I was like, too much information for 1 hour.
He shot down my idea. Let's be honest here.
You would be having massive science overload because
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Well,
I
you
thought
know I
it would
would-
be
you know
fun
I
to
would.
craft a question where it could have been for either of you. Say it, and then let you both of you kind of figure out who it was for.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Kerry. Yeah, so we got Kerry Mayfield, Tierra's Planters Roasters, PhD plant biologist, plant breeder, and I hope I got that right. And he is a coffee roaster, and it's brilliant. I'm drinking it right now. Made it in a French press this morning. It's fantastic. As well as, guess what? We talked a little bit about marketing. You're going to get a marketing overload because we've got Riker Taylor, and I don't know if Matthew Hart will be joining us as well. Maybe, maybe not. But we got Riker Taylor next Thursday at noon, and they are from Wonder Tree, and they do digital marketing, all things within that realm. They're going to talk about some new products, some things that they're launching while the COVID-19 thing's going on. It's going to be a fantastic week for everyone involved. And so, I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. Please, if you missed something, rewatch this episode because this is great information, Kerry. Thank you for sharing it with us
Awesome.
today.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at lubbockconsulting.com.
And me at robtech.io.
And that's our show, guys. So thanks for joining us.
All right, have a good one.